0. We often forget about the number 0 when discussing the meaning of numbers. 0 represents the void, a space of emptiness which sets the stage for creation. Anything is possible. This might signify having to start completely from scratch, a tower moment in our life, stripping everything back. 1. The number 1 is the start of a great journey or adventure. You've taken your first step and there are endless possibilities in front of you. The number 1 holds significance in the appearance of the number sequences 111 and 1111, which tend to appear often at the beginning of a spiritual awakening. When we observe these number sequences in our life, we can know we are on the right track and should keep our visions fixed on our goal without faltering. This number can serve as a type of initiation into spiritual awareness and the successive phases that unfold from it. 2. The number 2 represents the bringing together of duality, contrast, two individuals. The merging of light and dark, logic and heart in a situation where one was previously lacking. 2 represents the unity represented by a conscious relationship. 3. 3 as an odd number after 2 brings about dynamic growth. This number isn't necessarily positive or negative, but points towards taking action that will be beneficial over the long term. If you have been weighing up a difficult decision, it's a good idea to make a choice sooner rather than later. 4. The number 4 is all about structure and stability. You could think of the 4 legs that hold up a table. Similar to 2, 4 can represent bringing the final touches to something, bringing in a final element that solidifies and strengthens things. 5. When you are right in the middle of things, what can you perceive? 5 represents being in the eye of the storm. Chaos might be ensuing around you, but you remain centered. What can be built or destroyed from this space? 6. The number 6 has heavy negative connotations in a lot of traditions, especially in the number sequence 666, however these connotations are largely overblown by popular culture. When we see the number 6, we might want to evaluate the patterns and habits that have gotten us to where we are, and if they are keeping us stuck. 7. 7 is often seen to represent good luck. Here it can have a double meaning, receiving a miracle or anticipating a miracle. We are either in a receptive state, open to what may happen, or overthinking things, getting in our own way. It might be helpful to reconsider how attached you are to certain outcomes and keep your expectation in check. 8. 8 is a number of wisdom and divine guidance. This number signifies coming to great inner knowing, feeling the support of your guides or higher beings around you. Take stock and listen closely to your intuition. What higher message is a situation bringing to us? 9. The number 9 leading up to 10 represents taking that final step. You're almost where you want to be, whether that be the completion of a negative situation or the build-up to a larger goal. Keep your mind focused and pace consistent. When we are at this stage so close to completion, it's easy to feel as if everything could go wrong at a moment's notice. This is true, but it's important not to let doubt or fear get in the way at the last minute. 10. 10 represents the completion of a project or journey, the end. When we see this number, we can take a rest and truly feel gratitude for how far we've come, what we've created and everything we have in front of us. Numbers after 10 tend to be reduced down to their sum, so 23 would come out to 5, however some sequences have their own specific meaning. I take a very intuitive approach. Sometimes it makes sense to reduce a number down and other times you want to look at how the two individual numbers like the 2-3 from 23 would work together. Number sequences and synchronicity. A lot of the time numbers have a meaning based on what we ascribe to them. We can see this in action with how the same numbers are interpreted in different, often completely conflicting ways in different cultures. As we discussed earlier, numbers can be a great signpost on the spiritual path. Numbers are one of the easiest ways for the universe to speak to us, the simplest mode of communication. However, this method of communication leaves a lot open to interpretation. At the beginning of a spiritual awakening, it's common to notice sequences like 111, 1111, 222 etc. more often, on a clock or watch, in car license plates, on receipts. These are a type of synchronicity that represent a deepening of our spiritual/psychic awareness. However, it's really easy to become obsessed with these number sequences, and begin to search them out unconsciously. These sequences become a distraction rather than genuine spiritual guidance. How to interpret numbers. When we are interpreting number sequences, it's important to keep a level of detachment. To notice the signs but to also not become attached or dependent on them. When you receive a sign, rather than analyzing it on a mental level right away, take a step back and meditate on it. What deeper emotions, impressions and sensations come up for you? What is your intuition saying about this number? Build upon your interpretation. With numbers as a signpost, what direction do you want to go in? What deeper purpose are you working towards? Referencing other people's interpretations are great, but consult your own intuition first and foremost. Bring things into the context of your current life situation.